YouTube, what is going on? How you guys doing today? Quick question. How many of you guys love to collect? I know I do. I got a few, as you can see, and more on my shelf. But I got a special guest for you guys today. His name is Pop the Bounty Collector, and he has an amazing collection of sports, figurines, and all Funko Pops. So before we dive into this video, if you guys please go ahead and subscribe, like, and let's run that intro. YouTube, what is going on? I got an awesome show for you guys. Got a great guest. His name is Pop the Bounty Collector. As you guys know, my name is JayForThe3, and we're going to be talking about some sports collections and all types of figurine collections. But real quick, how you doing today, Pop the Bounty Collector? Got any quick introduction about yourself, and we can go ahead and get started.
All right, YouTube. Well, I'm just like I'm gonna do like my channel. Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Pop the Bounty Collector, aka Ricky. Ricky's real. I'm on YouTube. I'm all about collecting Funko Pops, Star Wars, and collectibles. I do unboxing, reviews. I go to conventions. So kind of new to YouTube. I got about maybe 10 videos out there, but they come out at least 2 to 3 videos a week. And yeah, I'm excited to be on this episode. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if anybody wants to go check out his channel, I am going to put the title and the subscription in the comments below so you guys can check him out and make sure you guys subscribe to his channel because he has a definitely awesome collection. Trust me, I've seen it. It's dope. So let's go ahead and jump into these questions. I want people to get to know you, what type of collections, and of course, we're going to jump into some of the sports collections also. So to get everything going, at what age did you start having like that urge to collect? And what was did you either get into sports collection first or anything else other than sports?
Well, when I started getting into basketball, just something about basketball, just I don't know, the team, the flashiness, the dunks, the sneakers, just all that culture in the early 90s kind of gravitated me to basketball. And then from there, it was just really collecting basketball cards. Like, basketball cards was the thing. Like, you took them in your backpack, you traded before school on a school bus, you traded during lunch. Sometimes you got in trouble and your teacher took your basketball cards because you were talking and not really paying attention to class. It's just basketball took over the
Mm-hmm.
whole culture for at least my generation in the 90s. And it went from collecting basketball cards to collecting basketball bobbleheads to wanting to get the player's jersey to if they were famous and they were signed by Reebok, Nike, or Puma, wanted to get their exclusive sneaker to just going to the games itself. It was just nonstop basketball. And I remember just getting like magazines, and all you saw was just posters of basketball players hung up all over my wall. And then I used to take some of my old jerseys because back then, we couldn't afford the authentic joints, so they were more like the
Mm-hmm.
iron on. But after a couple washes, they
Yeah.
started to peel off. So for me, in order to save those jerseys live, I would flip them backwards, have the player's last name, and just hang them on my wall. So I don't wear it no more, but at least it's
Nice.
still hung up on my wall. So that's where the passion really kind of started for collecting. And I think I want to
That's
say,
dope. Nice.
I think maybe I was like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember the first like completed like collection that you had or like set? And what did it take for you to get to that last completion to like have everything? And like, yep, I had this. Like, look.
Um, I wasn't in the earlier stages. I wasn't necessarily really into just completing everything. I think for me, when it came to like just collecting for basketball and just sports, was I needed every single color of the jerseys. I needed every single
Mm-hmm.
sneaker. So back in the days, like now it's different. I mean, now if you like Fruity Pebbles, they come up with a shoe because you like Fruity Pebbles. But back in the
Yeah.
day, It just used to be a home colorway, an away colorway, an all-star game, and if your team was good, a playoffs. So for me, that was like my collecting. It was like I wanted to collect every single jersey. So if there was a like a city night, a black jersey, a gray jersey, a white jersey, that's what I wanted to collect. And then the sneakers too, but just I needed it because I was kind of weird that way where if we were playing home and we are gonna wear the home colorway, if I'm going out that day, I was gonna wear the white Orlando Magic jersey with the white Penny Hardaway home shoes, kind of deal. So that was where
Mm-hmm.
I kind of started collecting a lot. When it came to like basketball cards, at least I needed, even though it was really hard to try to get everything, because some of these basketball cards were very rare. I needed to at least, if it was tops, ultra, upper deck. I'm trying to think about other ones, but I wanted a player. Like if I wanted like Penny Hardaway, or let's say I wanted Jordan, I wanted one from each. So that was kind of like my completion list.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could say I got one of each Jordan in all these different cards, all these companies. So that was kind of like what I really collected.
Yeah, and I know because I collect basketball cards also, and I know like every single franchise or like how you said upper decks or tops, they all make specific differently cards, and you're like, yo, I gotta like for me example, Kobe was my guy, and I had to collect. Oh, I gotta get the tops Kobe card. Oh, I gotta get the like now the one is called Treasure
Ooh,
or something like that, and they're the only ones that sell with like patches on the jerseys, but the boxes are more expensive because it brings less cards, but the cards are worth more.
no. Yeah, I
So,
mean, lucky
so
for
that's
me,
what.
I call my parents' house the vault because a lot of my old
Mm-hmm.
stuff when I moved out many years ago kind of stood there, and I'm lucky that my mom is not one of those moms that throw things away. She just kind of just saves it, and yeah, I got
Yeah.
some of my old collectibles here. We talked about when I first started collecting. I have, if you could see, there's a Penny Hardaway Orlando Magic
Oh, throwback.
throwback.
Mm-hmm.
So this is literally, I don't know how much it's worth. I don't know, but it's pretty old. I mean, this is what 1993, so over 20 years old. Penny Hardaway card. So this is what your boy was running with in his backpack, protecting. I mean, we got Penny Hardaway here from Memphis basketball card.
Ooh,
So I even collected
college days.
college
Nice.
cards because I knew like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
like they if somebody got drafted, what they would do the next year, even though they made it there in the NBA, they will all come up with the draft class. So anybody got drafted the year before.
Yeah.
So I used to get college cards too, and it was a gamble. You take people and you really don't know. And just talking about a gamble, I'll show you one card right here. This was a gamble, but this is like early 2000s, and now what everybody think about this man here. What
Ooh.
everybody think about this man right here.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
So and this was actually called LeBron's Diary. It says it in the back of the card, LeBron's Diary. And there's a whole bunch. I mean,
Nice.
LeBron right here, rookie, holding two basketballs. You know, this is everybody talked about this man, but again, we don't know how his career was gonna end up. And look at him now. He's in your team.
Yes, he is, and I'm very grateful he's on our team because he does a lot, especially this playoffs. He did a lot, try to keep us afloat. So next question, let's see. What was the first piece in your sports collection? Did you have like a specific team you're looking for, or a specific player that you like collecting, and that you're like, yo, I need to have whatever this man's name or player jersey I gotta have.
So, like I said, I was in my backstory is I'm originally born in New York, but I moved down to Florida
Mm-hmm.
when I was 7. So to me, I consider myself a Floridian. But obviously, having the
Mm-hmm.
influence of my uncle and my father, they're Knicks fans. So I just grew up watching, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Oakley, Mason, just those players. And then when I found out, it was so crazy. When I found out, I was living in Florida for maybe I would say 2 years, I didn't even know we had an NBA
Hmm.
team here. I didn't even know, like, because when we
Do you remember what year the
the
Magic
Magic, I think, started
were in
in
the NBA?
I want to say they were like 90, like 89, 90. And it took me
Okay.
to like 1992 to knew we had a team here,
Hmm.
because NBC, the Saturday games, they were all the big teams, and the Knicks was one of the big teams. The Knicks, the
Yeah.
Pacers, the obviously Michael Jordan, the Bulls, the Lakers. Those were
Hmm.
all the popular teams. So when my dad was telling me, yeah, we got an NBA team, we could watch the Knicks here. I'm like, for real? Who's our team? And he said the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
So at first, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought it was funny, because looking at the mascot, I'm like, what is this? Right? But
Hmm.
I never gonna forget. We didn't go to the Knicks game. I don't know, something happened where either they couldn't get the tickets, or my dad wasn't off, or my mom wasn't working, something like that. But we end up going to the Magic versus the Pacers. So that was like my first NBA game, and I saw Reggie Miller
Hmm.
and Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
And when I saw that squad, I was like, and I saw the Magic, I was like, man, I love it. Like, just being there. Yes, the Magic lost, but I'm just saying, just being there was amazing. So at that moment, I dedicated myself to the Orlando Magic, because I felt like, even though I supported the
Hmm.
Knicks because of my family, like, this was my team. That was their team because they're in New York. They were born in New York, but now we here in Orlando and we're in Florida. I'm like, that's mine. So I was just obsessed with the Magic, and anything Magic, anything Shaq, Penny Hardaway's, like, my Nike family is gonna probably look down upon me, but hey, this was before working at Nike. I had Reeboks, man. The Shaq
Uh-huh.
Attacks, like,
Hmm.
I was blessed that my parents bought me, the Shacks, the Pennies. It doesn't matter what company they went to or where they're at. I just wanted them. And then basketball cards, Penny
Yeah.
Hardaway, Shaq. The jerseys were the thing. Like, I needed, again, the home, the way. If there was a third row jersey, my parents bought me the whole starter suit, like the with a warm up suit.
Oh, the jackets,
Yeah,
the
the warm up
windbreakers
suit.
looking things. Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
they used to do the Orlando Magic announcement, and one of the things Penny Hardaway used to do when they called his name, he used to rip it open, stand in the crowd, and then
Oh.
continue walking down and shaking all the players' hand. So I remember me just being a little
Hmm.
kid with the whole suit on. Don't ask me why. I think it would be hilarious. I had the Penny Hardaway shoes, the NBA socks, the shorts of the jersey, the whole warm up suit on, sitting in the couch with my mom, because I got to think about mom. She's a big Magic fan too, and she's the one that kind of supported my
Hmm.
basketball, I guess, collection. She would sit there with me, and I'd be like
Hmm.
opening my jersey. So anything Penny Hardaway, Orlando Magic, Shaq, that's what I needed to collect.
Hmm. So you was ready to, like, if they called your
Yeah,
name,
I
you was
was
ready to
ready, and then
stand out there.
to this day, it's so crazy because I just feel like, if even though it first started with me and my dad talking about the Knicks, I would say my
Hmm.
relationship with basketball, it just ties into my relationship with my mom. To this day, we don't live together. It's not like we're far. I'm in Orlando. She can send me 30-minute ride, but we call each other,
Hmm.
and she'd be like, she makes up names for NBA players. So, like, she won't call him James Harden. She'll call him Barbudo. So she'll be like, I'm be like,
Oh
oh,
my.
in Spanish, like, did you see what the Barbudo did? 47 points. And I'm like, yeah, he went off. That's like the old James Harden. Or she'd be like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I need you right now because your uncle and aunt and your dad are all going for Golden State, and I'm the only one supporting LeBron. So whatever I like, my mom was with me. So if I was Penny Hardaway, Tracy
Hmm.
McGrady, that kind of transitioned to LeBron, my mom is that same supporter. So she's the one that took me to games. She's
Yeah.
the one that took me to my, I wasn't saying with AAU, but it was like Civic Center League. So she used to take me to my Civic Center League
Hmm.
games. So my biggest support definitely would be my mom. But yeah, man, I was all decked
Yeah.
out and needed everything Orlando Magic, and the only thing I had to do was just get good grades. If she saw a C, she wasn't
Hmm.
playing it. If I got A's and B's, she get me what I wanted. But C's, you ain't get nothing.
Yeah, that's dope. So, in your collection now, what is your rarest piece that is like your prized possession that you like? I can't live without. I'm not trading it away. Is no, not if you ask me for it, it's not gonna happen.
Well, okay, so I kind of have two. One of them is not here right
Hmm.
now because obviously it's at the vault at my parents' house.
In the
Um,
vault.
so I went to it was a Dale Armstrong comedy
Hmm.
charity event at the Hard
Hmm.
Rock and City Walk over here in Orlando, Florida, in Universal, the City Walk. They had a Hard Rock, and basically you pay to go in. All the money goes to the Darrell Armstrong Foundation, and they had famous comedians, that not so famous. Like we're talking about Netflix, kind of Kevin Hart, but we're talking about famous people from
Hmm.
BET comedy session back in the days. So I begged my mom to go. So it
Yeah.
was me, my mom, my sister,
Hmm.
because I was like just determined that if Darren Armstrong was there, other players are gonna be there.
Hmm.
I'm like, Mom, trust me, other players are
True.
gonna be there. So I remember
Uh
getting my
huh.
backpack because we're going, getting my backpack, getting a
Hmm.
Sharpie and a pen, and putting my Tracy McGrady jersey in my backpack. So when we go there, who do I
Mm.
see? Tracy McGrady. Now, for
Tracy
me
McGrady.
back then, I was very self conscious the way I looked, so I didn't like taking photos. But my sister sure loved taking
Hmm.
photos, so I was able to, and I pulled this out here. Uh, this is Tracy McGrady with my little sister. So this was the night.
Oh, that's
This was
dope.
the night,
That's
and I
awesome.
don't have the jersey with me, but I got an Orlando Magic.
Hmm.
Now, the jersey that I got signed by Tracy, it was an authentic jersey. So at the time, I want to say
Hmm.
I was maybe 16, 17 years old. So I had money from work. And like I worked part
Hmm.
time at AMC Theaters in Disney Springs. So the authentic jerseys back then were 175 bucks. Now, to me, now we're in 2023, 175 is still expensive. But
Yeah.
$175 back then, it was a lot, and it was the authentic Tracy McGrady jersey. So I remember I had plastic around it. I folded it because I didn't want to mess up the number, crease the number too much. Put it in my backpack, and man, my hands were shaking. Then he told me, he put his arm around me, and he told me, "It's all right, little
Uh
man.
huh.
It's all right." I was nervous. And he signed it for me, and that jersey is not going nowhere. That jersey is not going nowhere. So that's one of the memorabilia that got to beat him, got to shake his hand. My man put his hand around me. He was tall, crazy tall, and the only thing is I wish I should have just took a picture. I know back then I was very self conscious of myself. I hated pictures, but I just wish I
Hmm.
just was at least I got my little sister in it, but it would have been better if I was there too.
Yeah.
And then this is actually another picture right here that you see Daryl Armstrong with my little sister too that night.
Hmm.
Um, so that was pretty cool. And then kind of tying to it. Don't make fun of my bed, okay? Don't make fun of my bed. I
We won't. We won't. We'll just put comments down
yeah,
below about it,
just the
but we
comments
won't make fun
below.
of it.
But just to tell you what I was talking about, the jerseys, like I needed Penny, Shaq. I had the shorts, you know.
Oh, you had like a whole
Yeah,
uniform set up, ready to
yeah, I
go.
was ready. And so at this time, this is when the Magic came out with the blue ones, the blue jerseys, because back then they only
Hmm.
had white and black. So when the blue ones came out, that's why I think I took a picture of this. 'Cause I wanted to kind of show off that I had the blue ones. I mean, I don't even know why you had to carry this photo around everywhere. So it's not like your phone that you could go now, like, yo, look at this.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I was a weird kid back then, but I don't know if this photo kind
those
of
are.
have.
They had
Hmm?
the blue ones were
Yeah, they
pinstripe
were
also.
pinstripes. So that's how you could tell. That's how you could tell the level of how much you pay for a jersey. So like, if it didn't have
Uh
no
huh.
pinstripe, they're like, he has like the replica iron on. Then they had like the pinstripes and the numbers, but the numbers were
Hmm.
stitched around the letters, but they were still iron on. So that was kind of like the second level. And then the third level was
Uh-huh.
the official joints. So yeah, you can kind of tell, we were a
Yeah.
house of three kids. So my mom she'll spend $45 on a jersey. She ain't gonna spend over $100. And then this last
Well, I feel
photo
my
here,
parents were the same
real
way.
quick, it's the same night. I don't know, I got some kind of substance on it, but I don't know if you guys could see it. Can you see it? Whose that is?
Oh,
That is
that's Shaquille
Shaquille
O'Neal
O'Neal.
right there.
So yeah, I met
Hmm.
Dale Armstrong, Tracy McGrady, and Shaq that night. And I remember I went up to Shaq, and his security guard put his hand on my chest, like to hold me back. And then you hear Shaq, "It's
Uh-huh.
good, man. Let little man through." And I came through, and his hand was, again. This was L.A. Shaq, because Shaq was already in L.A. And he gave me dap, and I never
Uh-huh.
seen a hand so big in my life. It was crazy. So that's
Mm-mm.
one of my memorabilia that would never go. I got photos. The jerseys at my parents' house is still there. Then the other one that I would never let go. Again, all about my channel. I'm a Funko Pop collector. That's kind of like my thing, my niche right now. What I'm known for um, is the LeBron James Miami Heat Funko Pop. So this Funko Pop right here goes over $300. I think it's like around 350 right now. LeBron James. I only
Oh, wow.
paid 20 back in the days, and this is actually the number one. So when they started the NBA Funko line, they started it with your boy LeBron because the number one logo right here because they number each one.
Hmm.
So this is definitely going staying with me in my collection because it just means so much. One, first NBA Funko Pop, my favorite player, and then the simple fact that he was hated so much from going to Miami, and then that's where he won his first championship. So kind of ties into a lot of things. And I'm a big LeBron fan now. I know we talked about Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, but it kind of transitioned to LeBron, and that's who I'm with right now. I'm still a Magic fan. Pablo Banchero, we gotta stay that youth,
Hey,
that squad gotta stay together, man. If I was the owner, and I'd be like, hey, keep this team because they got a good young team. Just like back in the days, they had a good young Lakers team, and then they want to blow it up. Keep them, keep them. It's gonna take time. You gotta ride or die with them for a little bit, and then they'll get there. So still a Magic fan,
you know what the Magic are, you know what Magics are going to do though. They're going to train him. They're going to
and they
get
gotta
him
be,
really
yeah,
good, and when it's
yeah.
end up, he's going to come right here.
Yo,
What they do
imagine,
best. So they're all.
yo, Pablo Banchero and the Lakers, and if he wins the championship, I swear, bro, we're cursed.
Hey man, they did it for Shaq, they did it for Dwight Howard, and then I
Oh,
mean, what's
oh, what's it
next?
called? They got Mo Bamba right now.
My point exactly. See what I mean? That's hilarious. So, is there a sports figure or like a piece that you wish you had in your collection right now? Like, did you ever have a chance to get it, or like it was so close, but you're like, no, I can't right now, or but like that one piece that you're like, I wish it was sitting in my bookshelves right now.
Well, so I got two, and one that kind of ties into Funkos, and then the other one ties into just jersey collectible, right? So I have Tracy McGrady. I
Hmm.
got I got it signed. Yeah, it doesn't have the authenticity sticker, but I know it's authentic. I have it hung on the wall, like I know I got it. So I had a chance.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about. Oof, this is probably more than 10 years ago, maybe, yeah, more than 10 years ago. I had a
Hmm.
chance to get an authentic white Orlando Magic signed Anthony Hardaway jersey, and the person was selling it for
Mm.
$500. Now, to me, I thought that was a steal. Well,
Oof.
thinking about it now, that's a steal. But over 10 years ago,
Yeah.
$500, man, that's PlayStation 5 money, you know. So $500, I wasn't making that money. I was making enough money to live, but not that to just splurge 500. So that was the one
Yeah.
that I feel like, man, that got away. Because Penny Hardaway to me changed that player right there. Penny Hardaway changed my life, meaning in so many things, like fashion wise, the Penny Hardaway collection. I still tell this
Hmm.
story to this day.
Hey, YouTube. I know what you're thinking. Dang, video stopped. But I'm going to have a part two for you guys. I know you guys are excited about that. So if you guys can, go ahead and like and subscribe. Press that notification so you get that alert. So when the video does drop, again, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Part two will be coming out. And trust me, Ricky's story is awesome. So again, see you guys later and catch you in part two. Peace out.